Patreon.com, love the boys, support the boys, and patreon.com/fighting words will maybe at some point get you additional content. Let's moving swiftly on. Xbrain.co.uk and a promo code fighting words to save 20% off any and all Xbrain related supplements, and our boys Market Squawk, powered by Live Squawk. For all of your come and go data needs, if you are trading gold, crypto, futures, options, whatevs, they have all of the relevant news for you, and you can come and go as you please and not spend £2,200 a month on a Bloomberg and lock yourself in for a 2-year, give or take, contract that is ironclad. So, seems a pretty good deal. And also on the 21st of December, we are doing Watch Party 5, Queen Shy. She's throwing it out. The biggest one we've done, the best one we're going to do. And honestly, there will be a lot of promo for it on the Watch along, this weekend? Whatever.
Yeah.
Anywho, as I wanted to Sammy Joe, so let's go over.
A little bit of press conference talk.
You want to do press conference talk? Okay, cool.
Yeah, go on. We'll do that. We'll do press conference talk first. I've just got it up on my phone.
Okay, fine. I mean, like the whole intro of that is irrelevant now, but that's all good. All right, so I'm gonna say, considering the magnitude of that press conference, right?
Yeah.
Usyk Fury 2. It was Fury Usyk 2, but obviously they got a lot of backlash and they went, we should change this. And they did. Respect.
Rightfully so.
Respect. Considering, obviously, he turned up in costume again. Fury
looking cold.
Barbie girl.
Obviously. Powerful choice. Big fan of Out on the Pod.
You know who, for me, won that press conference?
Go on.
El Toro Romo. Johnny won that. Johnny won that on multiple levels for me. Not only did he go face-to-face with Big Dave Allen, right?
Yep.
Addressed sparring stories, because who cares about sparring? But on the other
side... Especially
when
he was a teenager as well.
20, whatever, right? You know what I mean? But also, like, Dave Allen's not that guy. Like, he's not spreading rumors about Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous hearsay of nothing. Like,
I think that's just how they're building the fight is... You know, Dave Allen was Johnny's first sparring partner when he, started, and now, 4 years later, they're fighting in Saudi. That's just the narrative. And
it's actually a really, really fun fight, right? It truly is a really fun fight, right? And the caveat of that is that what Dave turns up, what Dave is left, as rude as that is to say.
Well, he said it himself. To be fair. It's his 7th comeback, I think it was his words.
Love Dave. Like, he's such a G. Such a G. And, the mullet on mullet crime, huge.
Yeah, they're just popping up everywhere now. Everyone wants to look like an Australian.
Well, no, actually, to be fair, the term mullet is an Essex term. Okay,
right.
And it's an Essex term from a very long time ago, and we're talking like Southend, talk of the South, or Tots as it was known back then. Little history lesson. And
this is educating Sammy J.
Sammy J to regional stuff, Essex regional stuff. The only region that matters other than the East End of London. Plop, 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 plop.
Rude.
Anyway, a mullet was. Essentially, it was a swooped side parting, right? Hear me out. Then it went spiky on the top like a mullet, and then it swooped back like a mullet. And it became a mullet. It became synonymous with Essex Wide Boys, and they would do a mullet. So the term mullet is an ancient and magical term from the region. At least from the early 2000s. So shout out Johnny for knowing the term mullet. And also, okay, it's good to hear Moses talking. Okay?
Yeah.
I know that he gets a lot of backlash for not being the most talkative and engaging. But do you know what? Geezer's 19. All he knows is fighting. He's 19. What are you expecting him to say? What are you asking him to? Would do you want to give him do you want him to come out and tell you the differences between like Trump and Kamala's policies? It's not happening, right?
It's one of them as well. When you have to do as much media as he does, imagine any teenager doing as much media as he does. Like it's going to get tiresome quickly for him.
It crushes them. It absolutely crushes them. We've all seen it happen. And then, like, let him be the villain. Is for me what he is. Like, he's not a baddie. He's not a bad guy or anything. But he's going to be much more comfortable in embracing that sort of like villain role, right? And he's talking a little bit with Johnny. And again, big respect to Johnny. Big respect. Because he completely and utterly owned that. He started talking about, what did he start talking about? Like Liverpool and AC and Inter and all of these elite
Did you get a bit confused at that, or did you get it?
I asked ChatGPT. Well, I asked ChatGPT, and they told me that they were elite soccer race squads. So I was like, all right, sick. So what he was saying there is that Moses, and quite rightly, Moses is a AAA blue chip talent. And he is, right? For him not to become the next heavyweight champ, heavyweight thing globally at 19, with what he's doing, with the skill set he has, with how much he is just destroying people, destroying them. And these are supposed to be challenges. They are upping things as they go. And Frank is no joke when it comes to testing out his talent. He knows what he's doing, the geezer. Every single time Moses has murked these fools, right? Johnny, you may be one of them. Guess what? What did he say? I'm a cold night in Stoke.
It's a cold Wednesday night at Stoke.
Well, and explain that soccer reference to me.
They're synonymous for being a bit of a fortress where like they were making teams difficult for them.
Okay.
So when people would go there on a Wednesday, when midweek, it's hard to play, it's in the winter, crap conditions, all of that, they would make it a dirty little 90 minutes. Pause.
Let me tell you this right now. Pause. Resume. Let me tell you this right now. Okay. Johnny destroys Dave Allen. If he does that, gets past Dave Allen, looks great doing it. Right. Out to Saudi, Moses annihilates Dempsey, right? They do make that fight. Okay, one of three things happens.
What, right? Like in the near future, they'll make that fight.
Yeah, in the near future. Future, because there is only upside now for the both of them. Because Turkey, His Excellency, will want the good fights. He cares little about commercial appeal because he's just like infinite money, doesn't matter. He's living life on cheat mode. Shout out, right? But they do Moses and Johnny, okay, for Johnny's southern area. They do it in Riyadh, which is
he doesn't have it anymore.
Has he got rid of it?
Yeah, that was on the Courtney Bennett web fight.
Oh, I didn't even look at it. Anyway, but he fights Johnny. Johnny does give him a tough fight, but Moses wins. Yeah. Johnny moves on like nothing happened. Moses moves on like nothing happened. It was a tough fight. He got the win. Johnny causes an upset, right? And Moses has a decent amount of soul searching to do. And what we see is either Moses become the Moses that he is, or he becomes something that never was, right?
Yeah.
Or what I think is much more likely to be the case, because I don't even think we've touched the surface of what Moses is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think he comes out and he makes like very quick work of Johnny and catches Johnny. Basically, does what Johnny did to Babbage, does it to him in a different way. And I don't want that. I wouldn't be like, if they made that fight, I was like,
the thing with it is, I think the thing that sets these two apart to like if say they were on the same promoter or like on the same brand and that is
it don't matter anymore. It doesn't
but you've got Eddie, who doesn't have many heavyweights, and Johnny's his biggest ticket seller aside for AJ.
Let me stop you. And I know that you are on much more the UK centric side of things, and you're in it, and you see it and all this other stuff, right? I don't think that you understand the commercial power of His Excellency to the point where
100%.
wait, hold on a minute, right? Hold on a minute. They put the only viable US heavyweight, and for the US to not have a heavyweight champion at all is dead, right? It kills the sport in the States. They put the only one that was a viable, and Michael Hunter's a great talent. I'm not knocking that. Gerald Miller, they put him in with Bakoli. We all knew what was going to happen.
Jared Anderson,
exactly. They put him in with Bakoli, and we all knew what was going to happen there. Eddie even said to Turkey, "What have you done that for?" Like, that's that. And he's like, let's see. Because he wanted that. Yeah? Do you not think that if both of them two put on a good showing on his card, he's going to say, yeah, put them together, let's see. And they're not going to say, oh, we can't risk our commercial, blah, 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 blah.
Maybe. I think...
And wait, hold on a minute. One more thing to that as well. Frank will be with the A side of that.
Yeah.
And Frank will be like, yeah, let's do it. And it'll be Eddie that will be like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the fights when we're talking about, the rematch for the 5v5.
Yeah.
I just think it will just take a lot because they're essentially the two poster boys for the next generation of the two brands. And I just feel like
they're not.
Do you not think?
Moses currently is the poster boy here for the future of heavyweight boxing. No one else knows who he is, right? This gives him an opportunity to go on a global stage on a Riyadh season card if they do that with Johnny. Johnny, devout ticket seller, fan favorite, doesn't matter, win, lose or draw. He's the closest thing that this generation has at the minute to a Ricky Hatton. No one cares. We all love Johnny. We're all going to watch Johnny. We're all going to support Johnny. If you put him in with a world champion, we're going to back him. If you put him in with, what's his name, Nick Webb, going to back him. Put him in with anyone. It doesn't matter because the fan base is the fan base. Johnny is a ticket seller. There was. I mean, they refer to him all the time as like the new Joe Bugner. Joe Bugner was exactly the same thing in I think the 70s, maybe the early 80s, right? That's what he is. And it's not a knock on him, and he will be very open about it as well. He doesn't know how far he's going to go. He's doing
100%. But at the moment, when Eddie's got 5 heavyweights on the books,
it's not heavy. It's not Eddie's call anymore, dude.
Yeah,
that's what maybe. I don't think you quite understand that now there's a boss. Now there's someone. Now there's someone that is saying, "Well, no, we want this. Like this is not. We're not playing games anymore. This is it now. This is it. Done. Right. So if they want that, they will. But we're off topic heavily, and Johnny smashed that by saying,
100%.
Listen, you may be this superstar talent, but you're going to have a rough night, and I'm going to do damage to you."
Yeah, and to be fair, I think Moses smashed it as well after the presser when he was with Andy Clark and Johnny Nelson and they were kind of asking about if he's on his radar, and it's just like, no, not at all, not on my radar at all.
No,
looking bigger fight because let's face it, Moses is looking for those belts, hoping that when he's ready for it, which won't be long, they'll be scattered.
Yeah, I mean, almost certainly.
And then hopefully by the time he's in that world level, they'll all be scattered and he'll be first in line to pick at least one of them up straight away.
Fact. Which to be fair, did you see Tyson talking about the IBF today? They don't have him ranked in the top 15.
Said he's never going to fight for it again.
Respect. He has got some very valid points, right? Very valid. And the IBF is my favourite looking of the belts. It always has been, right? They seem to be moving mental.
To not have him in the top 15 is criminal.
But that's crazy anyway, right? So you have an undisputed heavyweight champion for the first time in 20-something years.
Yeah.
And then immediately you're like, well, nah, let's give that again. And then they do it again to Beterbiev. what are you doing? And they did it before to Canelo. What are they playing at? I don't understand what they're doing. I don't you're gonna get your sanctioning fees. If anything,
is it them trying to straight away become the vocal point? Because as soon as all the belts are together, and then straight like with Usyk Fury, as soon as they were together, afterwards everyone was talking about the IBF, what's going to happen with the IBF, straight away. So do you reckon it's from
but it's sour marketing, because all of a sudden no one cares about the IBF anymore. Because if you win, if you reach the summit of the sport and you are the undisputed champion of your division, and you know that whoever runs the IBF is going to knock on the door and say, you got to do a mandatory double quick, or else you're like, no, I'm literally I'm at the peak summit of my career. What are you talking about?
You're at the point where you can
tell me what to do.
You can pick the big money fights.
Yeah, you don't tell me what to do. I'm the undisputed champ. Especially now Turkey's got his undisputed belt. We all know what that means. They're going to start passing that around soon. It's going to be like the new ring belt. I mean, it's not the best belt. I'm going to be honest.
It's a weird. I think to not have Fury in your top 15.
It's crazy.
Because the whole point of an undisputed fight in theory is to decide number 1 and number 2.
Yep.
It's two guys that have got to the top. They're going to fight to decide who's for number 1, and then by default, the other one's number 2.
Yep.
So then, how we can drop to 15? So, some of the names that must be in front of them.
Yeah, but AJ is 7 or something. I mean, have a little Google what the IBF.
Try and get
15. It. Yeah, get the IBF on while I'm going to talk about this, right? Because. So with Usyk, for example, before we go on to that little bit, with Usyk, they took his IBF and basically Usyk went, "No, I'm not fighting. I'm not doing a mandatory, or I'm not fighting Dubois. I've just beat him a fight ago. I stopped him. Remember that? Remember that I stopped him?
Yeah.
And this is what he's saying to them, and they're like, "Yeah, but you got to do it anyway." And he's like, "Right, well, I'll give it up then." Right? So Dan wins this belt. Yeah. Dan, to be fair to him, beat up AJ. Respect. Right? Bakoli, again, is fighting for that IBF mandatory spot.
Yeah.
Bakoli beats them all.
All right. Do you want me to go through the IBF rankings?
Yeah, go on.
All right. So from 15th upwards.
Yeah.
Justice Hooney.
Who? Keep going.
Vianello.
Who? Keep going.
Jared Anderson.
Fine. Just lost.
Fabs at 12.
Perfect. Love Fabs.
Otto Wallen.
Fine. Fabs beat
Chisora.
Fine.
Hergovich.
Fine.
Joshua.
Fine.
Ajagba.
Joshua is 9.
He's 8th.
8th. Behind Ajagba.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Frank Sanchez.
He's just mandatory a second ago.
Yeah. Frank Sanchez. 6th.
Right. Okay.
Zhang 5th. Bakoli 4th. Caballo 3rd.
Okay.
And then 1st and 2nd aren't ranked.
What does that even mean?
I'm guessing that's because Bakoli's fighting for the mandatory.
But why are you fighting? Yeah, but it's long though, right? So it just makes no sense. AJ arguably should be number 3, right? And then you move Bakoli and Agabayai or whatever his name is to 2 or 1 or whatever. Fine. Don't drop him down to 8. That's a liberty. That's a
yeah. I mean, in theory, if there's not a mandatory, 1 should be blank, but 2 and 3 should be whoever's fighting for the mandatory.
Yeah, but then
that's the whole point of a ladder system.
Do you think before we talk about Usyk and Fury at the Pressy Wessy, do you think that that's why Eddie's now saying he might not be ready for February? Because he said that today as well, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's
a shit task.
I think it's everyone keeping their cards close to their chest until we know the winner of Undisputed. I think that's what it is.
Between Fury and Usyk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then again, that's a very clear roadmap, isn't it? If Usyk wins, right? Usyk probably does what he wants. Literally does what he wants. He probably doesn't even go after that IBF again. He might just call it a day, right? If Fury wins, they do an Usyk trilogy, because why wouldn't you? Turkey will say, I want a trilogy, and then they've got built-in sales that Fury has the most trilogies of any heavyweight champion of all time because everything he does in threes.
Well, maybe they're waiting on AJ because if Fury loses, then Fury AJ might be, they might go, oh well, we could do the Dubois rematch or we could do AJ Fury.
Dubois rematch with who?
With AJ.
Oh, with AJ. No, I think they'll do that anyway. But then, like again, the IBF then has proven to be a pain in the arse, and you got Bakoli sitting there. This 9 foot tall, 375 kilo, who moves like a middleweight, who punches in 12 punch combinations, doesn't put any power in the punches. He seems like arm punches, and he just knocks dudes cold.
Yeah. And I think Frank said as well today that, because I think he responded to Eddie saying if AJ's ready or not, and he said I think he was like, Dubois fighting on February. If it's not AJ, it's someone else. Dubois confirmed to be fighting in February. Yeah. So
then probably Bakoli's thinking, right, let's get this done. I'm going to do this in February as well. I'm going to do this double quick. Get me on a December show. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll do it on the undercard. He won't care. I'll message you after this about someone that told me about something about Bakoli that's very interesting. Ooh, okay. That'd be a good one to go onto the Patreon if we did Patreon, but we don't.
Bit of goss.
It's long. Anyway,
Patreon's long.
It's not long. It's just like there's only so.
We don't have time.
Like now I'm part of this leadership committee and stuff.
Yeah, we're redoing content because of Cornish weather.
Redoing content because of Cornish weather, right? Also, the schedule has been thick.
The schedule's crazy.
We're doing another watch along this weekend.
There's so much boxing crowned between now and Christmas. Yeah,
but we're covering it all. I'm doing active steps. I've already put it in I might even do the Sonny Edwards card. How about that?
Yeah, do it.
I might do it. Let's see what the bros are doing. Anyway, Fury and Usyk at the presser. Usyk come out as one of your computer game characters, the Hitman.
It was pretty cold.
Pretty sick, wasn't it?
It was a cold look.
It made him. I mean, it fit, didn't it? It just looked like he was going on a job interview.
Yeah.
He looked like literally like it's just like he's going to a job interview, and that's what it is. He's going to go and take his mum to the doctors or something. It's just like it just looked like it worked. He's looking big as well, isn't he?
He is looking. Yeah. He's looking good.
Out. Yeah. I mean, they very much so handled that. Respect to Fury, right? Kind of a gentleman. I don't care what anyone says. Like he's not moaning about it. He says he thinks he won. That's the end of it. We're doing the rematch. He's very open about it. He signed the picture of him getting cracked that Usyk made him do. He gave him the tickle. He done all that other stuff. There's no
shithousery from Usyk there.
Gave him a little tickle. The pair of them, like Greedy Belly and Gappy Teeth Rabbit, like they're kind of, they must have a decent amount of respect between them, at least, and I think they get along quite well.
I think they get along quite well as well,
because they're both elite fighting men. They both understand what they're going through, and to be fair, they've got a shared experience of note. Whatevs. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good for what it was. I think it's one of them where like we've now had that could be the 4th press conference between them.
Yeah.
Maybe the 5th, because obviously we had the last fight week, then we had the launch for that, then we had the launch for the one that got postponed.
Yep.
There might have been another one in there. I feel like personally I've worked on like 10 of them. So like it's one of them where like there's not a lot more to be said that's already been said.
Exactly.
Like if Fury makes, the sausage jokes or the rabbit jokes, whatever, we've already got the videos of him doing it before.
Yeah.
So
this is it. It's just about, I mean, the thing is that this is a very rare thing where the fight sells itself.
Yeah.
He's getting paid a fortune. He knows he's getting paid a fortune. He's very open about doing it for the money. Usyk's doing it just because he's getting, he's doing it for honor and cash, right? Yeah. Literally
honor and cash.
Note, let us know in the comments. YouTuber stuff. Let us know in the comments what you think between Fury and Usyk, who wins. Let us know in the comments what you think about the IBF being shabby. And if you don't do anything in the comments, it is what it is, because I've just only started to do this just right this second.